Well, I hope you liked the intro. I spent 3 days working on it. No? Well, I guess it's hard to please everyone. Anyways, got a package here. Today we're gonna be reviewing the function generator from Amazon for $160 here. So, in a true YouTube style, let's open it up with a knife of an inappropriate size. Well, I don't have a machete or a katana or anything like that, so I'm just gonna use a big kitchen knife. Why not? Yeah. And just for safety, I'll put the knife away. All right, we got the box here. Made in China to Canada. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Just a plain box, nothing unusual here. No graphics or anything. So let's go ahead and open it up inside. The things we can see right away here is, just move this a little more. So get ourselves a printer cable or the USB cable, some sort of USB cable. Don't know. Some flat circle looking thing that I don't know what to do with. Quick guide here. I guess it's more on how to use it than controls like that, so I don't know if someone's interested in that. I don't read instructions, nobody does. There's a name for this cable. I don't know the name of this cable. There's the alligator cables, again with the input port, whatever. And power supply, literally just the, let me take it out. It's literally the what is it? Just the regular, just power adapter with a like cable. That's it. Nothing unusual here. And then the final thing we got here in the box. There's nothing else in the box. The final thing we got here is the function generator itself, nicely wrapped up in a bubble wrap. So let's unwrap it. Well, that's not a whole lot of bubble wrap, I say. That's the function generator itself right here. $160 for this. Definitely the most inexpensive, definitely the most cheapest option in terms of function generators on the internet. I say online you can buy. Pretty sure you can get it cheaper directly from like Alibaba or AliExpress, but I don't want to wait 2 years for the delivery, so yeah. Anyways, you got your power button here on your tiny little screen.
Calm down. That thing's not that strong.
How can you two save me? But don't look, save me, but
FBI, open up!
To tell you what were you doing. Buttons, these buttons, the connectors, and a nice little note that actually feels pretty good. It's kind of clicky, or I don't know if a click is an appropriate thing to say about a knob, but anyways, has a little stand here, as you've probably seen already. Nice little touch, I say. And then at the back we have well, the USB connector. Then we have the power supply input, which is, it says 5 volts. Let me see something here. This is also 5 volts. So on the product page on the Amazon, they never actually said what's the, I say, the maximum output voltage is. So I've seen someone's comment there and they said, oh yeah, 20 volts peak to peak, so maximum 10 volts or minimum negative 10 volts. So how is that achieved with the 5 volt input? I don't know, but we're gonna check that and make sure that that's actually the output we're looking for. And then we get this, I know what this is, I honestly don't know, TTL. Some sort of, you know, port that I've never seen before in my life. Maybe some serial interface with, there's actually a table here for whatever, to, I guess, to communicate with this device. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in, why not? Point out that the cable or the wire length isn't really that great, so just gonna have to work with that, I guess. Now, oh, here you go. So we greeted like with the little screen here. Let me see if I can maybe turn my camera a little. Here you go. What is this? A language setup. Push the button to select. Of course, we're gonna go ahead and select English. Oh, this thing is loud. Okay, anyways, right away we have a sine waveform coming out. You know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and take off this little screen protector. Normally I don't take them off because I like to keep my screens nice and you know, clean and shit like that. Oh, this is not easy to take off. There you go. Oh yeah, does that sound good? Not to me, honestly. Oh, it's sticky too. Interesting. Anyways, here we go. Right away, it looks like we got the output like enabled. I didn't really ask for it. Yeah, so when you turn it on, you have your outputs are enabled already, which is not great, I guess, but have the oscilloscope set up here. So let's go ahead and plug it in, I guess, and see what's gonna happen. I don't think this cable is really gonna be enough to run from here to my oscilloscope, so I'm just gonna use one of this alligator clip to the port cables. Just untie the cables first. And these ones are actually pretty nice and long, I say. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Let's go ahead and connect this in. All right, I got two little cables here. I'm just gonna go ahead and connect them to these alligator clips here, so I can connect them to the oscilloscope. channel 1. Let's turn on channel 1 and turn off the channel 2. There you go. A beautiful sine wave. That's what I see now. Let's, I guess, stretch it out a little. So let's so right now I have it at 20 hertz, 5 volts. So let's check if that's the case. We're going to measure at channel 1. Actually, I'm gonna have it here, so we'll do the peak to peak. So the peak to peak 5 volts, which is 5 volts here as well. I guess you can't really see much here, but I'll just tell you. So I see 5 volts, and then I see 20 hertz as promised, I guess, in here. And yeah, no, the sine wave. This is the sine wave, and it looks really good. I'm happy with the way it looks. Pretty good quality sine wave, I say. Anyways, they should have. So they actually, this function generator comes with different types of functions, of course. So one of them is a sine wave. So let's go ahead and maybe, I don't know what any of those buttons really do here, but so this looks like a system setup. Oh, you can turn off that annoying sound there. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, so let's turn it off and then save it. Very good. And then I don't know what the rest is, but yeah, no, that's good. System, I guess, just gives you system functions. Measure mode. I don't know what the measure mode is for. We shouldn't. Yeah, this is I actually don't know. I don't know what this is. I guess that's for this part over here, which external in, I guess this stands for. External in. So yeah, you got this menu here. It says measure mode, so I guess you can kind of measure things. And then let me show you the system menu once again. Yeah, just simple menu, but nice thing. You can turn off the sound. I don't know what the sync mode is, but yeah, and that looks like everything they have here. Anyways, so then we have the modulation mode. That's like another thing I don't really know about. That's things that's kind of things they don't teach you in the first 3 years on electrical engineering in school, I guess. So yeah, fuck knows what this is. Then we have a wave, which takes us back to the main screen, and I guess you would use wave to actually select the different options we have here. So we can do a square wave somehow. Oh, that's for the channel 2. Let me select the channel 1. So you can have on a separate channels, you can have separate waveforms or different types of waveforms coming out. Very nice. So let's go ahead, change our sine waveform to this square waveform, and I'll check out if I can change the duty cycle just in a bit here. So right now we have 20 hertz. Actually, let me go ahead and change the 20 hertz. So just select the 20 hertz and then take it down to maybe 15, and then amplitude, let's go ahead and push it up to all the way up to 10. I think 10 is the maximum here. Oh no, you can go more than 10. Yeah, I think the maximum they said was 20 peak to peak, which is 10, maximum 10 positive. So I don't want to like pull too much right now. Let's just have a look at the square waveform first, and then we'll play around. Let's change the scale first. Okay, so we got ourselves a pretty nice square waveform, peak to peak. So 10. Actually, I just realized this is 10, so we can go all the way up to 20. if we can see, yeah, 20 peak to peak is the maximum. So yeah, this is still looks pretty good. Kind of jumping up and down between 20 to 22 volts peak to peak. Our frequency is just about 15, so pretty good. Actually, let's quickly, while we're still here in a square waveform mode, let's go ahead and switch over to the duty cycle and see if we can maybe get 30% duty cycle. Yeah, that looks like it works. No, doesn't. Hold on a sec. Let's do 75% duty cycle. No, that doesn't work. I think so. There's another mode here which is kind of like this looks like a perfect square wave, and this looks like square wave I can actually change. That's actually your 75. Let's go ahead and change that again. So yeah, as you change the duty cycle, so about 50% here, and then you go down to 30%. So it works and looks pretty good here. So let's see what our other options are here. Oh yeah, I wanted to double check the peak to peak voltage. So let's go back to the sine waveform here. Honestly, it shouldn't show you the duty cycle for the sine waveform and the square waveform because you're not really able to change it, so something to worry about. So I've got the 20 volts here, and then 20 volts here, 15 hertz, 15 kilohertz. Actually, you know what, I didn't notice this is actually 15,000 kilohertz, so that's a 15,000 kilohertz there as well, or 15,000 15 kilohertz, 15,000 hertz here. So the maximum I think for this thingy here is like 6 or 15 megahertz, but honestly 15 kilohertz, you know, maybe 100 kilohertz, maybe 1 megahertz is like just enough for me. I don't really need to push it any further. This is this model, yeah, like I said, this model can only go to a certain, I think it was 16 megahertz. I think they have another model of this which is more expensive, but it can go up to like even higher frequency range for like a starter like me. And I'd say for anyone really, this is a good start. So yeah, let's go back and play around with the sine waveform. So what I want to see is the offset. So for you who might be familiar with the function generators, you normally not able to change the offset if you have your amplitude maxed out. So in a case like this can output maximum plus 10 or minimum negative 10, which is 20 volts peak to peak, right? That being said, this shouldn't technically allow me to change the offset, to move it up or down. But let's see what happens. Let's see if it's gonna let me or not. On the function generators, on the more fancier ones, what it does actually, it actually disables the output and it tells you, oh yeah, you're not allowed to do that. So let's see how this works. Am I changing the offset right now? Yes. So I'm changing the offset and I'm seeing some weird things happen. Hold on, let me trigger again. Yeah, so as I'm raising up the offset, it looks like the frequency is still the same, but something weird happens and the sine waveform is no longer the, okay, I see what happens. So it's actually changes here. So it doesn't tell you anything, but it changes here. So let's try do 2 volts. Go and try to change the amplitude to all the way back to 20 again and see what happens. 16, yeah, okay. So it doesn't say anything. It doesn't say you're it doesn't tell you about you messing up things, but you really gotta watch out what you're doing here. Normally, like I said, you would get a message saying, oh yeah, you're supposed to like you can't go any higher or anything, but here it just kind of blocks you or it adjusts the amplitude for you, so it doesn't let you mess up, I guess. which is nice, I guess, which is good, but something to look out for in case you're you just gotta understand how this thing works, right? It's a more affordable product, but it comes with its own unique features. we call the bugs features. So this is gonna be its features. So let's go ahead see what else we have. So we have the triangle waveform, which kind of looks like that. Yeah, just a normal triangle waveform. It's not the sawtooth, it's the actual kind of triangle. Kind of goes up faster and then goes down a little slower, but I guess you can change that if you play around with the settings. I'm not really interested in that right now. I can't really imagine using the triangle or the sawtooth waveforms for anything. Not really interested in those. And what else we have? So we have some other ones. So we have this arbitrary 01. I'm not sure what that is. Arbitrary 02, 03, 04. Yeah, there's lots of. Oh, so you can actually use this knob here to switch the output modes. So I don't know what arbitrary functions are, but yeah, here we have the sine wave, square wave, pulse waveform, on which you can actually change the duty cycle, triangle, partial sine waveform, which is actually kind of looks funny on an oscilloscope, which is, I guess, again, you have part of it that goes up a little faster, and then the part that goes down, the fallen edge, you'd have it go slower. So then we got the CMOS, which I guess is another square waveform with adjustable duty cycle, but this one should probably be locked at 5 volts. I don't know, goes all the way to 16. Yeah, I'm not sure. Then we have a DC waveform, which is just, you know, DC waveform. On my oscilloscope it doesn't show up properly because probably I don't have it set up correctly. That's probably why I'm not really interested in that. For a DC output, I'll probably use my school-made power supply instead of using this. This is a function generator. Okay, I really need a DC on it. Then we have a half waveform, which is kind of like the output of the half. What is it? It was like the half rectifier. Looks pretty good. Then we have full wave. That's the output of the full wave rectifier. Got a nice little ladder here. Probably can't see that on the screen. Let me see if I can zoom in a little more. Yeah, I got a nice little step ladder here. Yeah, I can really zoom in nicely. But hopefully you can see how it steps up and down, stuff like that. Negative ladder. Exponential rise, which is, yeah, don't know what you would use this for, but sure, that's nice to have. Exponential decay, multi-tone waveform. I don't know how you would actually set this up, because this is again, this looks like a combination of two different sine waves. But you would have to play with the settings to actually figure out how it works, but to me it looks like it works just fine. You know, maybe just for fun, let's go ahead and play around with it a little. Let's turn down our output voltage from just down to 5, and then maybe change our offset as well. Let me see if I can change the scale here a little more. So it's the vertical position. All right, is it jumping up like this? Hold on. Yeah, you can't really trigger on it nicely, but yeah, you can kind of play around with it. So that's your offset again. Let's leave our offset around here. Oh, that's good. That's perfect. And let's play with the duty cycle. The duty cycle does nothing. We'll put it to 50%. And then the last option I never explored was the fuzz, which is I guess maybe it's the phase difference between the channel 1 and channel 2, but I don't really know how to change the this multi-tone waveform setting. So, like I said, to me it looks like there's two sine waveforms combined with each other to produce this waveform, and I can only see myself changing the setting for this specific one, for the main one, but not for the other one. So I don't know. It's something I would have to play around later. And what else do we have? So we have, that looks like everything. Yeah. Oh no, we have a sync waveform, which is kind of looks like we got a bunch of small peaks and then one big peak in the middle. Then you have Lorentz, then again arbitrary 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know what those are, and then back to sine waveform. So yeah, gotta say, for this $160 function generator, you get a lot of different options to play around with. So like a lot of different functions, which is nice, in my opinion at least. So yeah, no, that's to me, I say that's a pretty good unit to play around with for my hobby electronics. So let me go ahead and maybe see if I can do some more fun stuff here. Okay, here you go. All right, that's where the fun begins. So I don't really care for any of this measurement things, so let's go ahead and remove all. Then hide that, and then if I can just get the frequency down to 15 as well, 15,000 kilohertz, and then the amplitude, so both of those are 15. Let's change our vertical scale for both of those. Let's put those to 0 and then do vertical. All right, that's good. And then let's remove the offset for the channel 1. All right. Trigger. That's trigger. Okay, good. And then let's change the phase mode. So that phase should allow us to do a nice little, if we do it 90 degrees. Where's 90 degrees? So I don't know if there's actually, there's a selector things here. So if you move to the side, you can go all the way to 90 right away. Here you go. Perfect. And just like that, we got a nice little circle over there. 3 years in school, can't do fuck all, but can draw a nice little circle on an oscilloscope. So here you go. Enjoy that piece of art. And then if you want to see more fun stuff, let's go ahead and change the frequency here. Frequency. Yeah, actually, let's go change frequency for this one until it kind of looks like this. Maybe put it down to 5. All right. And then if you change just the frequency, if you raise it up just a little bit, maybe just a little bit too much. Let's do 1 hertz. I don't know. Can I? Oh yeah, pretty precise. There you go. With a little bit more magic, you can get that little, I don't know what shape this is, like a helix or something. No, not even a helix, like just shape, okay? You can make it look like it's spinning. So if I just kind of stop it here, it's gonna look like like this. Or if I just add a little more here of frequency, it's gonna look like it's spinning. Wow, 3 years in school. Impressive, eh? Well, here you go. That's all I can really show you here. Nothing else.